My parents said there was no space for me at the family gala I paid for, so I made sure there was no gala. I was standing outside my parents' dining room when I heard my sister Jessica start laughing. Seriously? She said, we're giving one of the best tables to Uncle Mike? A few people laughed. Then another voice asked the question that changed everything. Wait, where's Jason sitting? The room went quiet for a second. Then Jessica answered, he's not. More laughter followed. I stood frozen in the hallway. The strange part wasn't that they were talking about a family gala. The strange part was that I had already paid nearly $50,000 for it, and apparently there wasn't a seat for me. I stayed there for another minute, listening. My aunt sounded confused. How is that possible? He's paying for this whole thing. My mother sighed. We're already over capacity. He'll understand, my father added. Jessica laughed again. Honestly, he doesn't fit the image anyway. That was enough. I turned around, walked back to my car, and drove home without saying a word. The family gala was supposed to celebrate my mother's 70th birthday. It had started as a simple dinner idea 6 months earlier. Then it kept growing. A larger venue, a live band, professional photographers, premium catering, custom decorations. Every time the budget increased, someone called me. Usually my mother, sometimes my father, occasionally Jessica. Could you help with this one expense? Then another, and another. By the time everything was finalized, I had spent nearly $50,000. I wasn't rich because my parents helped me. I built my own business from the ground up. While Jessica received help with college, I took loans. When she got money for a house down payment, I worked weekends. Whenever I noticed the difference, my parents always had an excuse. Jessica needed support. Jessica was starting a family. Jessica had bigger challenges. Eventually, I stopped expecting fairness, but I never expected this. The next morning, I called the event coordinator. I asked her to send me copies of every contract and invoice connected to the gala. An hour later, everything arrived in my inbox. Every agreement listed one client, me. Every payment had come from my accounts. Every vendor reported directly to me. That afternoon, I met with an attorney. I showed him the paperwork. Then I explained the situation. He looked through everything carefully. Finally, he asked one question. Do you want your money back or do you want out? I thought about the dining room, the laughter, Jessica's voice, the seating chart that didn't include me. I want out. The attorney nodded. Then that's easy. The following morning, cancellation notices went out. The ballroom booking disappeared. The caterers stopped preparations. The band received formal cancellation instructions. The decorators packed up. The photographers removed the event from their schedule. Everything happened exactly according to the contracts. The client had canceled. The client was me. My phone started ringing before noon. First my mother, then my father, then Jessica, then relatives. I ignored every call. Eventually my father showed up at my office. He looked furious. What the hell is wrong with you? He demanded. I opened a folder on my desk. Inside was the seating chart. I slid it toward him. His eyes moved across the pages. Then I handed him the guest list. Again, no mention of me. His expression changed. Not much, just enough. Your mother didn't think you'd care, he said quietly. I stared at him. After everything, that was his explanation. Not an apology, not regret, just an excuse. I laughed. The conversation ended a few minutes later. There wasn't much else to say. The gala date arrived that weekend. There was no ballroom, no band, no photographers, no luxury dinner. My parents threw together a much smaller gathering in their backyard. A handful of relatives attended. Most of the original guests never showed up. Over the following weeks, people started asking questions. Why had such a huge event suddenly been canceled? At first, my parents blamed scheduling problems, then vendor issues, then contract confusion. Eventually, one of my cousins got hold of the seating chart. After that, the truth spread on its own. Relatives who had defended my parents for years suddenly became very quiet. Nobody could explain why the person paying for the event wasn't invited to attend it. Even Jessica stopped talking about it. 3 months later, my mother called. For a moment, I thought maybe she wanted to repair things. Instead, she asked if I could help Jessica cover the cost of a kitchen renovation. I hung up before she finished the sentence. That was the last time we spoke. It's been almost 3 years now. Family holidays happen without me. Birthdays happen without me. The group chats continue without me. And honestly, that's fine. The night I stood outside that dining room, I finally understood something that had taken me decades to accept. I wasn't being treated like family. I was being treated like a wallet. The gala was supposed to celebrate my mother's life. Instead, it exposed exactly how my parents saw me. They said there wasn't space for me at the event I paid for, so I made sure there wasn't an event at all. And for the first time in my life, nobody laughed.